Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. Now I know a part of my audience is very interested in the competitive scene within Rogue Company, and so what I wanted to do in this video is just give you some tips about how you can start to sort of formulate and really delve into getting better as a team in Rogue Company. Now I know this won't apply to all of you because some of you are solo queue players, some of you are just casual players, but I did want to just touch on that competitive audience just a little bit. As a lot of you know, I've been working with a team to improve and get ready for the 10k CMG tournament. We did play one qualifiers and did well, but there was still more to look over, and we've been adopting a lot of the things I'm talking about in this video to get to the stage we're at now and continue to use it to get better. If you do go on to enjoy the video or you just want to see daily, educational, Rogue Company content, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But for now, let's get into it. Now this video will touch on certain areas of how to improve, and I'll sort of break it down by town, but the assumption here is that you have a team, you have 4 people or maybe a sub who you've got together and you're ready to start playing in some tournaments, or you're ready to start playing in some ranked, and you're just ready to get better. Now one of the first things that's really important to do and work around as a team, and it is actually something we had to work on quite a lot at the very start, is to pick a one shot caller. And the shot caller's role within a team is to give very clear comms and strategies and plays in the game situation. Outside of the game and when you discuss strategies, everyone can have their voice, but in game it's one person you want to be listening to. On our team specifically, we have 3 people who really could be a shot caller, so we had to choose who we thought would be best for the situation when in game. The key thing when you pick a shot caller and when you agree on who that person should be is that you have to listen to them without question. When they make a play, you have to go along with the play, no matter what the outcome or your different thinking is. If you really want to go for a flank, so you say, hey, I think I'm going for a flank, they say no, you listen to that comm, because that shot caller is trying to absorb as much information as possible into the situation and really give the best strategy based on everything they know. Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. Either way, you listen to the call and you listen to the shot caller, and you can look at why that call might have been bad later on in some of the other stages we'll be talking about. The next thing to do once you have your sort of main voice of reason, your team leader as such, or at least your shot caller, is to then look at what comps and strategies you want to run for each map. Most of the time I suggest you actually play the game and talk about it into Champion Select or just before Champion Select to figure this out. I don't think it's just great sort of thinking about every map and every comp first and then jumping in, because you don't know what really works. So you really want to narrow down who your rogues are and who you think will be best for the different map that you're about to load into. Do you want to play a retake playstyle on defense and therefore want the Anvil and the Scorch? Do you want to play heavy revive and go for sort of like a Saint and Dahlia combo? Or are you looking for a really heavy breach, so you might want a Shark, maybe a Talon for intel, a Dahlia there for the res, or a Dima? They're the sort of things you have to talk about and assess based on the map and what strategies you might be looking to go for all the time. But don't worry, when you get this initial stage down, it will change as you go throughout the games. One very important thing to do, not only once you're picking these rogues, but also after you've picked them and you're trying to figure out who's playing what, is to look at the strengths and weaknesses of your teams. Do you have some really good high aggressive players on your team who would really benefit from something with a great weapon or SMG, like a Shark? If so, you maybe want to focus on putting on them. Do you have someone who's good at surveying information and playing safe and playing angles with the DMR? Or maybe they're your Dahlia. There's a lot of different things that go into who plays who within the team. Maybe you have someone who's just really good at zone control and therefore they want to play the Vi or the Trench. Or maybe you just have people who really like a specific rogue and have a lot of playtime, and that can be a good enough reason to put them on that rogue as well. Me, for example, I can pretty much play everything. There's a few rogues I say I don't want to play because I'm not comfortable on them. But when it comes to something like Lancer, for example, I am the Lancer within the team because I'm really good at clutching out situations and being good with timing and positioning and flanking when needed. And therefore me on that Lancer and my competence in a 1v1 is sort of leans me towards that sort of play style. I can also play something like Dahlia because again, I'm great at taking information and conveying that to my teammates, which is something that Dahlia is really good at. I'm also not afraid to go out and peek shots, which is really good for a DMR, so you want to be getting that poke damage in there as well. I look at my strengths towards rogues and think, who would I be best at? For example, I know I'm not really gonna be the sort of Talon or Dallas. While I have good aim, my accuracy is not as good as some of my other teammates, and so I don't lean towards them. And that's the kind of situation you have to talk about as a team to decide who's going to be best on each role. So once you have your shot caller, you have your rogues, you have who's playing each rogue, and you maybe have some strats. But again, you'll sort of figure them out as you go through the game. Strategies is something that could go a whole nother video. And if you actually do want to see a whole sort of strategy video, I'm not sure exactly how I would do it. If you want to see something like that, let me know in the comments down below. And have a think about it, have a work around, and we'll see what I can do. But once you have all of that, you then have to look at how to improve your game. So you've got some strategies, you've played some games, maybe they went well, maybe they didn't. There's one way of really assessing as a team what went well and what didn't, and this is something that I do not see teams doing, and this is one of the things that can actually carry over as a solo queue player as well, and that is VOD review. VOD means video on demand, and essentially is just looking at replays of your games and reviewing what went wrong round by round, how you could have played different, how your teammates could have played different, and this is a massive step and really important step that a lot of people do not know how to do properly. So I'll take it from a team situation because I am talking about competitive play in teams. So you would all sit down, you'd go on Discord or something, and you would stream a replay of the game from someone's perspective, or as many perspectives as possible if people have the recording set up available. You want to look at it round by round, and in the first playthrough of the round, you want to be completely silent, because comms are something you need to work on as well, and therefore listening out for them in your VOD review is really important. Once the round is over, that is when you can then go back and talk over specific moments, whether it be the positioning, small mistakes someone made that you have to correct, or whatever it be. Maybe you decide you need a completely different rogue setup because, hey, they had a great counter to you that you need to be able to play around should that happen again, and so you might have to change the situation up. A good example, and I'll put it very briefly for you, is we were playing at Icarus Attack, and we got really stumped by Trench with his new unpunchable barbed wire, so we decided, you know what, we don't really need a Vi on this map for our attack, let's run something like a Dima instead who has an EMP, and we can get rid of some of those trophies, and you also have a great grenade zone control as well to maybe get some picks on the attack. That's one change up we were able to do, but something you need to know about VOD review, and something that as a team you need to be very aware before you go into it. It's very argument heavy because you're discussing what went wrong and really being picky about every detail. And trust me guys, that's absolutely fine. Being argumentative in a team when it's all done through respect and just wanting to get better is perfectly healthy and is really important at improving. What people can't do is over argue a point that goes too far, maybe it gets a bit nasty, and that's where the line needs to be drawn. It's just, hey, this was wrong, and at the end of the day, it's the shot caller who kind of is the final word or say, but it depends on your own team dynamic for that. But be prepared for some arguing, be prepared for people to, you know what, say that you did something wrong, and you have to take that, look at it, and admit that. The easiest way to get over an argument in a VOD review is to admit you were wrong and talk about how to improve on that. Whether, again, that be you switching rogue, whether that be just a complete change up of comp, there will be something to look at. And I cannot tell you how much better our team got when doing VOD review. Even as a solo queue player, going back and watching your VODs and being really critical, or having some impartial third party with you is really important. So once you've done the VOD review, and again, this is the most important part, you then want to go back and play some more games and basically repeat the process from here. You play games, you go against other people, you scrim. If you're not scrimming as a competitive team, you really need to be. If you don't know what scrims are, it's essentially your 4-man versus another 4-man. Going together. Ranked is not sufficient enough practice. You need to be finding teams to scrim against. Post in every Discord, post on Twitter, post on every forum you can to find people who want to play and scrim you, and you need to assess their level. Are they better than you? Are they much better than you? Are they much worse than you? And decide whether they're good scrim partners going forward. Do it in a best of 3, do it in a best of 5, or do a full map rotation, and make sure you record it so you can VOD review it later. All these steps are so crucial and so important to improving you as a player and as a team, specifically within the competitive scene, and it's a massive rinse repeat. What you do need to be careful of is that you do not get too heated in these arguments. Things need to improve. Everyone knows that. Our team needs to improve, but you need to be careful about where you draw the line, and if it's just too much for you, it's too much arguing at that stage, take a break and come back later. Make sure you're doing scrims, make sure you're entering CMG tournaments. There's pop-up ones, 4v4s all the time, best of 1s, best of 3s, free entry, a few credits. Sometimes they're just limited to amateur and novice. There's a lot of opportunity for you to get involved in CMG tournaments, so you do want to be capitalizing on every single moment you can. That's really my best advice about how to lay out and how to get better as a team once you've got your team and kind of the stages of what to do next. I do quickly want to touch on VOD review one more time. I have for a long time been considering doing some coaching within Rogue Company. As I'm competing in the 10K, I'm not sure I'll be able to do it throughout the February. Going to March, I might be looking at do coaching for solo queue players, no matter your rank, for teams or something like that. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below as well. It's something that's probably a bit way off in towards March for me personally to be able to have the time to do this, but I want to know the engagement that you guys have. Okay then guys, that takes us to the end of the video, and if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING, see live gameplay commentaries, guides, Q&As, and playing with viewers. All the links you're going to need are down in the description below, but for now guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. And remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll catch you in the next video.